If you're watching this, it's likely that you or someone you know is overweight. And if this is the case, the chances go drastically up that you or that person in your life has been bullied because of this. And likely, this causes a great deal of shame, of poor body image. However, bullying of this sort is one of the few things that you can think yourself out of. Of course, if you're strong enough, you can think yourself out of anything. But most of us aren't, myself included. And so, we must defeat this demon with logic. We must think about it to the degree that the event that used to affect us so much no longer has any great bearing. In this case, specifically talking about being overweight. When someone comments on your weight, I like to group it into two separate categories. One is a friend or family member. When they comment on it, it's because they care about you. They want what's best for you, and they don't want to see you suffer. This is the kind that's acceptable. On the other hand, you have people who do it out of malice, who do it to lift themselves up. This is obviously unacceptable. But it's not often realized that this is the case. You see, it's easy to convince yourself when someone bullies you for your weight that this is a character flaw you have. It's a fact about yourself that you can't change. However, both of these are false. You can change it, and it is not a comment on your character that you have this issue. And indeed, in the second case, where somebody is bullying you, it is a comment on their character. Because if somebody feels the need to comment on your weight, and it is not a concerned friend or family member, then it must be the case that they get something out of it. And in this case, they lift themselves up. In life, there are people whose opinions you should listen to, and people you shouldn't. If a drug addict on the street starts to give you life advice, you probably shouldn't listen. However, if your mom is a good person, you should probably listen to her. The person who bullies you for your weight is in the first category. They are equivalent to the drug addict. Not because they share similar issues, but because their reasoning for saying it is all wrong. With a drug addict, the reason you wouldn't want to listen to them is because it's clear that they're at a spot in life that you don't want to be at. However, even if they're at a spot in life where you don't want to be at, and so you choose not to listen, this might not be the case with somebody that bullies you for your weight. Sadly, it's all too common for good people to be rude about this, to comment on people's weight and act as if they are superior because they are not overweight. However, this is not the case. Nobody is superior. I believe that we are all equals, and we should all strive to be the best that we can be. And being the best that you can be does not mean bullying people for their weight. So the reason why you shouldn't listen to these people is because they do not say it out of care. They are not concerned for you, and they use it as a way to lift themselves up. This is deeply wrong. Yet you, in some ways, probably listen to this because you worry for it. Perhaps you've been bullied for it your entire life, and so you begin to believe the things that people say. But you shouldn't. Because again, there are two categories. And if someone is saying it because they care about you, there is no reason to feel shame, and there is no reason to be offended by it. But if someone is saying it as a way to bully you, then you should ignore them, because their words mean nothing. There is no use in pointing this out when it is not out of care or concern. It is simply a way to lift someone else up. And this is not okay. You should not listen to these people. I hope that I've provided sufficient reasoning for your anxious mind to stop overthinking this. Thank you for watching.